Mandalorian, episode 2, season 3. What did I think about it? Too long didn't read version. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed episode 2. It wasn't super full of action or anything like that, but it was still an enjoyable episode. And of course, I've got to point out what I always point out in these things, and that is the setup of something early so that something else will happen later. So, for example, Grogu is looking at the thing on his ship and he says, that's Mandalore, that's the moon I grew up on, and that little dot there, that's where Bo-Katan lives. Which they've been to lots of places, why specifically point that one out? Well, lo and behold, 10 minutes later, Mando's trapped and he sends the young one off, get Bo-Katan. In other words, I need help, I'm fucked, she needs to come and rescue me. Well, how does he know where that is? Well, he's just shown him on the screen 10 minutes ago. Geez, that was lucky. So that when he goes back, he can point to the droid and say, take me there. And then the droid can take them there because the droid knows how to get there. But he doesn't. So we also see the droid was from the original Star Wars, which was called Star Wars until later on. Then it became Star Wars A New Hope. But that was that same droid that blew its motivator, which ended up with Luke getting R2. So same droid, fantastic. Now with Mando. So we're kind of keeping things within things, stories within stories. Everything's still related in the Star Wars world in some way. We're dragging things backwards and forwards and looping them together. Same things happening over and over, loops within loops. The same story, just retelling, cycling around. Because I don't know if anyone really noticed it, when the IG robot last episode came back, it basically had one arm and a body and was trying to get Grogu. Well, it was kind of like Anakin, right? At the end, chopped up, one arm and a body. I hate you, I hate you. Trying to get to Obi-Wan here. So same thing, like the end of Terminator, one arm and a body, just dragging itself forward. Now, I'm not saying Terminator is related, but Terminator's popped into my head. But that was episode 1. Episode 2, I thought was good. We got to see a little bit of what happened to Mandalore. I think there's still more to look at because, look, it's a big planet and they've only just gone to one city. So I'm pretty sure there's way more to discover. There's no point saying let's return to our homeland and rebuild it from the ashes just because we can breathe here. Why not just all go to the moon and all the Mandalorians just go live on the moon, which is still a viable thing? I don't know, just a suggestion. Maybe someone that knows more about that stuff can fill me in on that, but that's just my question that pops into my head. And who's to say they will even all go back there? Clearly Bo-Katan can use the Darksaber. Din struggles, so we've seen how he struggles, but she's a whiz with it, so he still has to learn the secrets of how to use the Darksaber. So she kicked butt, and I think that's a setup for later to show that she is a very formidable fighter, melee fighter at close quarter combat, not necessarily just guns shooting from a distance, that she's really quite capable up close and personal. So is she going to win the saber back or not? Don't know. Don't really care. Let's just go along for the ride. Overall, I enjoyed the episode. Quests within quests, as I've said. So he still has the quest for the IG memory chip. I don't think he's going to give up on that. And that way that IG droid will come into play some part later on. He's already said he's still trying to learn what this ship he's got can do. So that means, to me, there's a setup. There'll be more that it can do that we will see later on to get him out of trouble. My prediction, I'm just predicting based on the little bits of dialogue here and there. The Jawas, hey, they might find the IG chip. She's already planted that. Look, there's, like George Lucas said in the original Phantom Menace, with the saber dart. Was that the Phantom Menace? I get him so confused. He originally had Obi-Wan go into the analysis droids, and they looked at it, so he didn't know what it was, and at the end of the scene, the analysis droids didn't know what it was. So it didn't progress the story until he went to the diner, and he's, oh, that's a Camino saber dart. Right, that progressed the story, but the analysis droid just ate up time and didn't progress it. So we've already been told by the little guys that the IG memory chip, you can't get it anywhere. So we already knew that. And that whole dialogue with the Jawas, IG memory chip, there aren't any anywhere. Well, we already knew that. The little repair guys would know. We don't need to have that reinforced by the Jawas. So that part is like the analysis droid scene that got cut out in George Lucas's movie. It's something that didn't progress the story, but it was there anyway. So I'd like to think that Filoni and Favreau together, they know about having useless things in. So if that scene is in, the Jawas confirming it, something we already knew, which is a waste of screen time, waste of filming and everything, somehow that is going to play a part a little bit later on. That's my prediction. Again, I'm just predicting a few little things going forward. But anyway, I enjoyed episode 2. Looking forward to episode 3. Let me know what you think in the comments below.